Tonight we will have a returning guest to Lost in Shadows. You know him as the creator of the Grim Shadows universe. The fans are raving about the next big hit coming out of his grimdark universe. The dark character known simply as Kane, from his new hit novel, The Chronicles of Kane. Welcome back, Mr. R.C. Rucker. It is a pleasure to see you again.
Hello, Rose. I'm glad to be back. As you could tell, I've been very busy.
Well, that's putting it lightly. Tonight, we turn our gaze to one of the most haunting figures in the Grim Shadows universe, Kane Graythorn. Who is Kane, and what is his significance in the Grim Shadows universe?
Kane currently is an immortal bounty hunter, but he has been many things in his long life. He is a man of many secrets and except for matters of business where he might have to hire a crew, he is a lone, isolated figure. He is a warrior whose only constant in life is himself. Everyone he knew has died. Everyone he knows will also die. He will not. And this is his curse. This is his damnation. He has what he calls a condition for which he is always seeking a cure for. Kane is over 1,000 years old. He has found a type of medicine to help diminish the effects of his condition, but it only works temporarily. He is a wanderer, never staying in one place for too long. He must always return to the city of Graythorn, but has traveled all over Tanalon and beyond. He is a master of the blade, often using two sabers at the same time. And while he is no necromancer, he is a scholar of the study of the forbidden schools of magic, like void magic, blood magic, and necromancy. His training is more from book knowledge, lore, not from being a mage, which he is not.
What is this condition he has, and what is this medicine he takes for it?
He refers to it as his condition, but you and I would call it a curse. Kane suffers from the condition of being undead. His condition is not the normal state of undeath, as we all know, zombies, skeletons, vampires, and blah, 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 such and such. No, his condition is decay. His flesh rots and decays over time. His teeth become more fang-like, his hands become more claw-like, and his strength grows to inhuman levels. The longer he goes without his medicine, the worse the condition gets. He does not need to eat or sleep or take in breath, for that matter, but he still does these things.
That sounds horrible. How can he travel into cities and towns looking like that? And why act like he can eat, sleep, and breathe if he does not have to?
His ability to travel without getting killed as an undead creature ties into his medicine. His medicine not only stops the decay, but also restores his body back to the moment he was cursed. Kane was a handsome devil before the curse. Since the curse, his eyes turned a solid, bright yellow, which will glow depending on his emotional state. In two ways. First is a strange mixture of necromantic embalming fluids and healing potions. There are only a few scholars of the forbidden arts that know how to create it, and Kane must use their services. Kane knows how to make it, but for some unknown reason, every time he makes it, it fails. The other way he can restore his decaying body, and this is the less preferred way for him, is the warm, fresh flesh of a human or some humanoid being like elves, dwarves, orcs, and such. He can eat almost any type of dead flesh, no matter how old, but its impact on restoring him is minimal at best, sometimes only lasting a few minutes. What's worse for Kane is not only does his body decay, but also his mind. With his so-called medicine, his appetite for warm flesh grows uncontrollable and will drive him insane. That's if he does not have his medicine. He will become what he calls the beast. The beast will attack and kill anyone to feed. He has become the beast a few times over his long life, and every time it happens, he swears this will be the last time, until it happens again. Cain by nature is not a cannibal, and he hates himself for feasting on the flesh of others. Now on to your other questions. Even though Cain's appearance in his fully restored state is a handsome man, that's not how he sees himself when he looks in the mirror. All he sees is the decay. So he will wrap his face in black cloth, a black scarf covering his mouth or lower face, sometimes a skull-like mask covering his full face, or a metal one covering half his lower face. It depends on the state of the decay. Cain also refuses to accept his condition. So he will eat and drink as though he is still alive. He will sleep and breathe to hide the fact he is no longer human. Over his 1,000 years of life, he has gotten very good at pretending to function as a human being.
You mentioned self-loathing. Why does Cain hate himself? How did he get the curse, oh I'm sorry, as he would say, his condition? Why not settle down somewhere and try to find a cure?
Cain blames himself for his condition. He betrayed a witch that truly loved him and who shared all of her secrets with him. In return for her true love, once he learned everything he could from her, he turned her over to the mage hunters. They tortured her for days and executed her as a practitioner of the forbidden magical arts. What's really strange is she never told him about her relationship with Cain, about what she taught him and that they were lovers. She just suffered. At the time of her execution, Cain watched them burn her alive and said nothing. As the former ruler of the city of Greythorn 1,000 years ago, he could have done something to stop it or let her escape the night before her execution, but all he did was smile as she burned. She cursed him as she burned, even though she was far away from him. He heard everything that she said. He believed her death would end it. Only later did he find out how wrong he was. He was the last true heir of the throne of the city of Greythorn 1,000 years ago. Over the last 1,000 years, Cain has suffered greatly. He now understands what his arrogance and pride cost him. Cain does not hate himself for what he did to her. He hates himself because of his nature of never having enough, of doing whatever it took to get what he wanted. And it's still his nature today. He hates himself for being a selfish, power-hungry, manipulative bastard. He knows deep in his heart he betrayed the one woman who truly loved him. And this is his reward. As far as your other question goes, Cain has tried to settle down and research his condition, but people start to ask questions the longer the years go by. He must keep moving around, first to find more medicine, or people start disappearing. There are parts of the world of Tanalon Cain can't travel to yet because they still remember a warlord, a pirate, a ruthless conqueror by his name and appearance.
Cain sounds like monster. Many would say he got what he deserved. Do you think most people will have a problem connecting to such a character?
Cain is a monster in many ways, but he also has some nobility in him. Cain could simply give up and say, I'm a monster and I'm going to act like it. But he does not do that. Cain refuses to become the thing the curse was set to make him. The worst part of Cain, and the thing that makes him heroic, is someday, if he does not find a cure, his will finally be broken. Cain is more tragic figure than he may seem on the surface. There is no stop to this. He will live forever, as he desired over 1,000 years ago. But the problem is he had no true understanding of what that means. In most fantasy stories, the hero has to worry about dying if they fail. That means little to Cain. His true battle is internal. It is for his sanity. How many years can he go before he truly becomes the beast and lose himself to the curse? Oh, I'm sorry, his condition. Cain lives in the moment, and his moments are over 1,000 years long. All he has is his code. Is the only thing that's keeping him from the nightmare of eternity. The more Cain is wounded in a battle, the greater his hunger for flesh grows. Only his medicine can reduce the cravings for flesh. He fights a battle he knows over time he cannot win, but he fights anyway, day by day, moment by moment. This is a reflection of the human condition we all face. We spend our lives running around, killing, making money, building families, making love, learning skills, and for what? We all know one day we will die. And everything that we've done in life will at some point pass away. And it doesn't matter if it's a few years or a million. Everything we touch will turn to dust. Everything we were passionate about at one time or another becomes meaningless given enough time. This is Cain's battle, because he does not get to rest with death. He is cursed to see everything he does turn to ash. At least when we go, we don't have to see it. He is truly damned. His battle is against time, and he cannot win that fight. This is what I believe people will connect to.
You make a great point. He is not the typical surface-level anti-hero. You mentioned he must go back to the city of Greythorn every so often. Why is that? How does he feel about going back to the place all of this started?
A part of his condition is that he must sleep in the soil of his homeland. The witch wanted him stuck in Greythorn forever, feasting on the people who threw things at her and laughed at her as she burned. Cain found a way around that. He wears a pouch around his neck that contains the soil from Greythorn. Without it, the decaying process will speed up and his insanity grows stronger. Every so often, he must go back to get new soil from the earth of Greythorn to put into the pouch. The pouch contains more ingredients than the soil, but the soil is needed for it to work. As far as his feelings go about returning, it is always tragic pain. He is always forced to remember all that he had and all that he lost. His once beautiful home now lies in ruins. People say it is haunted and stay away from his old fortress. Sometimes when Cain goes there, the ghost of the witch will visit him, telling him she still loves him. This causes Cain extreme emotional pain, no matter how much he may try to cover it up. There are times when he goes home and will sit on his own throne for days, feeling sorry for himself and hating who he was and who he has become. Cain is strongest on the soil of Greythorn, but cannot bring himself to stay in his homeland for too long. It is the one city in the dreaming empire of Dor he does not travel to unless he has to. It's just too painful for him. He spends most of his recent time in Arcus, the city of gates, the home of the Grim Shadows.
Cain seems to be very businesslike and cold with everyone we see him interact with in the novel. Why is this? Does he not have any friends or close allies?
Cain's sense of self-loathing is intense. He simply does not have time to consider the feelings of others. He is so lost in his own tragic past and the feelings of regret, he has no time for anyone else. He is mainly worried about a few things: taking on missions, getting paid for those missions, buying his medicine and equipment so he can do more missions, trying to manage his hunger of flesh, always trying to find some way to stop or change his condition. These are what he's mainly focused on, nothing else. Cain has also lived a very long time, too. He doesn't really hold a conversation. He can't really hold a conversation with people he sees as specks of dust. Here today, gone tomorrow. And besides, he might have to eat them, so why try to be friends? His business-like nature makes his life really simple, and he might respect a few people, but most are just cannon fodder waiting to die. The only real question is, how?
You said you shared certain flaws with your other protagonist, Starfaller. Do you share any personality traits with Cain?
Another good question, Rose. Yes, I think I do. We have similar views on events and how to respond to them. This also ties back to Starfaller, only dealing with others from an attitude of strength. Cain simply refuses to accept his fate, regardless of the fact that he caused the events that now set him on the road to damnation that he's now on. Cain would say, I'm screwed, but at least I can take some comfort in the fact that I screwed myself. It's like a criminal who is in jail and gets a good night's sleep because he knows he's guilty versus, say, an innocent man sitting in jail worrying all night because he didn't do it. Cain knows he's guilty as hell and does not waste time thinking about what he could have done. He sees this as a character flaw in others who do it. I also see such behaviors as a waste of time. With Cain, one might see this as contradictory to his self-loathing, but it comes from a different place. Cain's self-loathing is due to the fact that he must deal with the consequences of his actions. Not that he would do anything different or that he did anything wrong. He does not regret doing those things, but it's the price he must now pay for being himself and choosing the road that he decided to walk down. Instead of just giving in to the beast, Cain's struggles is eternal. After 1,000 years, he still seeks a cure to his condition. Good luck with that. I myself was once mugged at gunpoint. 3 guys pulled guns on me to rob me. This was in the dead of winter, and I was young. I count that event as a very important thing in my life. I place value in the experience. Heck, I would have even paid money to learn what I learned about myself from the event, which I know sounds really weird, but I'm being honest. I was calm, thinking. I didn't panic. I didn't start to cry. I was able to talk my way out of getting shot due to the fact that I lied to them about the money I had on me. I told them I had no money, but I had around $300, I think, in my leather coat. They checked it, found the secret pocket I had it in, and they were pissed. But I talked my way out of it. I didn't get shot. I didn't get beat. Nothing. I was not afraid because everything happened so fast, but if I had time to think about it and process it, it might have been a different story. I remember walking home in the cold, laughing. I know that sounds strange, but understand things from my point of view, okay? I could have lost my life, something of value to me. The Walkman, the gold chain, the money, the leather coat they took, it's nothing. I got that back maybe 2-3 weeks. It was nothing. More importantly, as I said, I could have lost my life, something I can't replace. And I learned how I would react in a life and death situation. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I do this and I do that, but they never honestly really know until they're put into such a situation. I don't like to say I grew up in my neighborhood. The truth is I survived my neighborhood. And many of the kids that I grew up with did not. I also know people who have gone through a fraction of what I went through, and they're afraid to leave their houses. They're afraid that somebody's going to go and get them. Like Cain, I believe in finding value in everything that happens to you, the good and the bad of it, and its impact on your life. It's really up to you. It's how you perceive it, how you view it. That's where the value lies. It's a choice. You can choose to feel victimized and walk around feeling sorry for yourself in a certain type of way, and I'm, always fearful. Or you could choose to have it play a role in your life and use it. I am never a victim. I have never been a victim. I will never be a victim. And I've been through some really, really rough times in my life. Maybe I'll write a book about it one day. So I would say that, yes, Cain and I share certain views of events and their impact on our lives.
What about you, Mr. Rucker? How do you view Cain? Is he an anti-hero or a villain? What is his impact on the world of Tanalan? Why is he not hunted by the Dreaming Empire after all? Many powerful people must know who he is.
Is he an anti-hero or a villain? Well, the answer is yes. It is ironic that whenever Cain seeks peace, let's say he goes to settle down and try to live a so-called normal life, over an extended period of time, he always becomes the villain. Let's say he forgets his medicine one day. Let's say he can't get to it. Well, he might just go up the road to that nice family that welcomed him into the area and eat them. It's like putting a rat in a cage with a snake. The snake might not eat the rat right now, but at some point, the snake will eat him. That kind of sums up Cain's relationship with people. He is fully aware of this, so he seeks to find things worse than himself that he can kill. That is the anti-hero side of him. Cain's impact on Tanalan has been 1,000 years of bloodshed and death. Wherever Cain goes, death and ruin follow, either from the things that he is hunting or trying to kill, or from Cain himself. These days, though, he just tries to do the bounty jobs he takes and move on. The reason Cain is not officially hunted by the mage hunters and others of the Dreaming Empire of Dor is that he has worked for many powerful people in the past, including King Mandrake. Many powerful people owe Cain their lives, or the lives of their families or loved ones. He is protected and has stood before the Autumn Throne and talked to the king as an equal. He does have many enemies from this realm and others, but he also has many hidden allies. They may not like Cain, but they do respect him. They know if Cain is on the job, then that job will get done one way or the other.
Well, Mr. Rooker, I want to thank you for coming back to do this interview on such a fascinating character as Cain Graythorn. A being who is truly damned but still refuses to give up believing there is a way out of it. I have enjoyed this. Before we go, what new projects are you working on now?
I think in closing that this would be a good time to explain the Grim Shadows universe and its different eras. Era 1 is the grim, dark fantasy world of Tanalan and the Grim Shadows Mercenary Company. You know, Starfaller, Titan Starax, Cain Graythorn, those type of people. Era 2 is the Lovecraftian, cyberpunk, SCP Foundation-like world of Black Arrow, the Long War, where you have cyberpunk agents versus megacorps, cultists, and cosmic horrors, to name a few. And Era 3, which is set in the far future sci-fi dark age, called the Karian Empire. It's a time of forbidden tech, royal houses, machine empires, and the void realms. It is the end of times. All three of these eras together are the Grim Shadows universe. And the symbol above all of them is the bloody grim eye of Ra. Specifically, I'm working on my next protagonist in the Era 1 for the Grim Shadows universe, Tanalan. It's a man called Dorian Bloodraven. You've met the assassin with Starfaller, the monster with Kane. Bloodraven is the noble lord. I should be done soon. Shouldn't take me too long. I'm also working on the first of the Era 3, the far future Dark Age sci-fi novel, The Karian Empire. And that should be done a little after that. But again, Rose, I enjoyed this. Thank you for having me. I truly enjoyed these interviews, and I wish you and the fans all the best.